Hello, welcome back to The Good, the Bad and the Stupid. It's Tuesday, 22nd of October. Much go on today, lots are happening. I've got a big pile of papers here. Don't know how I'm going to get through them all, so going to get straight on with it. First of all, Brexit. We all know that one. It's basically been declared today that we're going to have an extension by the sounds of it, because they voted that they need more time to look at the details of the document, which Boris Johnson tried to wrestle through in 3 days. So they voted against that. So now he's going to have to eat his words and ask for an extension past October the 31st, which means that he said he'd rather be dead in a ditch. So I hope he doesn't go that far with it, but he's basically having to eat humble pie. But they voted to go for the deal, but they obviously, people want to make sure that it's not a pile of shit, which apparently people are saying that it is, but they want to look at the devil in the detail. So yeah, more to go on that. They should work it out like this, because it goes back and forth more than fuck knows, back and forth more than fuck knows, a P&O ferry. I don't know. I can't think of anything that goes back and forth quite a lot. But they should do it like this. These two boxers here, political heavyweights, two councillors, one Tory and one Labour. What's he called? Two councillors, Tory, Dale Heenan. They call him Tory Dangerous Dale Heenan, and Labour's Basil Slugger Solomon slugged it out in a charity fundraising bout. And they were basically having a heavyweight battering, and one of them's got a fucking head guard on. The other one ain't wearing one, and the one who won isn't wearing one. So the other guy knew he was going to get beat if he's going in with a head guard, and the other guy doesn't have to wear one. The other guy's like, fucking, that's psychological. You know what I mean? Surely both of you have to wear one, unless he's given him an uppercut and his head guard flew off. But he looks like he's the one who's won anyway. So anyway, the one who won was Labour. Labour won the day on that one. So I'm sure you can't do all politics based on punching each other in the face, but it works a lot all the way down society. Unfortunately, people get a lot of things sorted out over fucking fisticuffs or whatever. Well, saying that, that's old school now, isn't it? I mean, fuck me. People are bringing a tooled up to fuck these days. You can't get into a fight these days without, it's not worth it these days. Like the old days, you just go out and have a little dust up. But now you got fucking people got knives and everything, so you're better off just avoiding it. Anyway. I'm surprised it hasn't kicked off in the Parliament yet, like I said before, what they do in some of these other countries where they just fucking have had enough of each other, and they just literally just start throwing chairs and fucking battering each other. It's happened in like Italy and Africa and places like that, hasn't it? And Ukraine or some of those Eastern European countries. I think some people have had to bite the lip a few times, I bet, in Parliament before swinging, because I don't think it would go down too well over here. You know, fucking hell, health and safety would be all over it. What's it called? Samira Ahmed is suing her BBC bosses over alleged unequal pay. She works for the BBC, and she's basically was a journalist or reporter, broadcaster, and she's suing them because of the big. It's obvious they pay the men more than they pay the women, and she's not having none of it, and that's fucking good. You know, she's come out and she's suing them, which will pave the way for other women to go, hang on a minute, fucking that's me as well. So she's done just as much work as the men have in the same field, and she's been grossly underpaid. I can't even go into how much, but the BBC, that's thousands, multi-thousands. You know, she's like probably on 100 grand, and they're probably on 500 grand or something. So it's good, but BBC are fucking, you know, they're like fucking like many corporations anyway, but they're just a corporation where it's all about the blokes in the boardroom and fucking, you know, backhanders and whatever else. Got to be, you know. And the women have come off second best, but not now, because they're standing up to it, which is good. women should just have as much money as men. Why not? And then when the divorce happens, maybe the men can have half of their money because the men will be skins. No, I'm joking. A celebrity winner, Scarlett Moffat, bamboozled social media trolls. This is good. By messages them to ask if they are okay. That trips them out, that does, doesn't it? Because if you trolls on the social media, they hide behind being the nasty comments and they say fucking horrible shit and stuff. But if you turn around and be nice to them, I bet that trips them out, because I bet they won't even know how to handle it. Because I've been in situations before, or seen before, where people have been nasty, whether it's road rage or whatever it might be, or somebody's like fucking gone, gone to go off on one, and then the person they're going off at has been nice to them, or gone, and said something nice like, "Oh, sorry," or whatever else, and blah blah blah, and the people just, the faces just freeze. They expect you to be confrontational, and they don't know how to take it, and then they end up saying sorry back to you. It's like cycle, it trips them out. So I reckon that would work. If she's like being nice to them, kill them with kindness in that respect, isn't it? So you'd be nice to them, and they just like, they'll fester in their minds all night. You know what I mean? They'll probably come on in the morning and go, "Oh, I'm really sorry about what I said to you last night. I was having a bad day," and stuff like that. So there's a good lesson in that, because it doesn't work all the time. Some people are just arseholes, full stop. But especially I think on social media, if they're there, they're just being nasty for being nasty's sake. You don't just have a bad day and go, "Right, I'm fucking going on social media. I'm going to start fucking taking it out on some people." But in the spur of the moment, when people are nasty to you, half the time they're just having a bad day, innit? So if you reverse it and say something nice to them, it fucking diffuses the situation. Next thing you know, you'll be out on a date and fucking, it's all like mind games, isn't it? Anyway, what do I know about it? I don't know. I fucking fly off the handle plenty of times. I know that, and then I actually do. I have, should I say, especially with driving and stuff, and you go, "Fucking, why did I do that?" You know what I mean? But you've gone past already by now. You've already give him the sign and whatever else, and you're thinking that was pretty uncalled for. Anyway, this could chill you out. Green-fingered Brits have a new book to leaf through called Bedtime Stories for Plants. It's a book where you can read, and it's all stories that you can talk to your plants. Read to your plants, should I say. And apparently it's good for your plants to talk to them, as you know. But I don't know about telling them stories. You're going to start, I don't know whether talking to the plants is also some kind of psycho thing for you. Some people are lonely and they just talk to their plants for someone to talk to. But you want to talk to your plants too much is when they start talking back. That's when you've got a problem. You can talk to your plants all day long, but as soon as they start going, "All right, Wayne, yeah, how's your day been?" and all that sort of stuff, then that's time to call it a day, or time to call in the quacks, because something ain't right. Especially I've been smoking a plant. I know that. If I've been smoking a plant and I start talking to plants, the plants start talking back to me, it's section time. That's when fucking the straitjacket's coming out. A free climber has been handed a 6-month jail cell, of course, a cell, for climbing the Shard. He climbed up it in just 45 minutes, 1,017 feet. And that Shard, have you seen the Shard in London? It's just a big point. It goes from the bottom all the way to the top in a big point, and it just looks like glass. It looks like slippy as anything. Fucking, I don't know. He's done it with no what's it called? No ropes and all that kind of stuff. He's done it, and he's got himself 6 months in prison for it anyway. But it's good what they do, especially like that Spider-Man and whatever else. And some of them are been doing it for years, haven't they? But how many of them have fucking bit the dust? That's the question. It's almost like I could never. I'm saying I'm scared of heights, but I'm scared of heights. I'm not. I do high things, but I'm not like I'm not going to fucking crawl and cry and stuff like that. But I'm not a fan of heights. Put it that way. And I couldn't even imagine climbing something without any ropes, or climbing something probably full stop. But climbing something without any ropes is like it's a death wish, isn't it? I mean, you just got you're missing something in your brain there that gives you that fucking feeling of fear. And you know, it's good in one way in the sense that it's good while you keep going and keep going and keep going. But that day that you get a slippy bit, then you're it's goodbye, isn't it? But anyway, if that's what you enjoy doing, good. Anyway, but you got 6 months in prison to think about doing your next one now. Anyway, planning your next one. Sting has caused a little trouble. A sling. What the fuck? Sling. I can't say it. Sting is singing in a sling. That's the headline. He's obviously he's damaged his shoulder and he's like out. And he's like performing, but he's having to perform with. I don't even. That's not even fucking news, is it? I don't know why I've even pulled that one out. He's just been. I haven't heard from him for years. Not that he calls me, but I'm not like the last thing. Because he used to be all right, didn't he, old Sting? But I think he fucking come out a few months ago, or was it a year or two ago, doing a duet with Shaggy, and that was just like. You know, that was just ridiculous. That was almost like, is he having a mental breakdown? He's like doing a duet tour with Shaggy, and it just didn't make sense to me. But after that, he disappeared. He's probably been sitting in his room for 6 months thinking, why did I do that? Why the fuck have I just done a tour with Shaggy? And he's trying to come back out now, and he's obviously slipped over, done his shoulder in, and now he's singing in a sling. I don't know who was he singing in reggae? I didn't listen to it. I wouldn't want to listen to it. Maybe I should for purposes of this podcast. I'd been doing this podcast whilst I would have listened to it and just gone, right, that's shit, because I could confirm it. But I'm just going to have my opinion that it's shit even without listening to it. Meghan and Harry could leave the royal life behind. I spoke about that yesterday. I'm not going to dwell on that one a bit, but good. I would, if he had the opportunity. I suppose they can. Can he advocate or just go, right, nah, fuck it, I ain't bothered. Don't want to be a royal. I think I'm gonna, because if it's between your relationship or or being a royal, because that's where it could go. If she don't like it or she's going, right, ultimatum, it's me or them. He could do it, couldn't he? He could go like, well, sod it, I'm off. Or he could just say like, light duties, I'll just come back and forth. You know, like what's his name, Prince Andrew. Although he's disappeared for other reasons, he's like fucking, what do they call him, Randy Andy, or he's dodgy, isn't he? If you saw that program that was on last night, what was it? The Prince and the Pedo. It sounds like the fucking worst fairy tale story going, doesn't it? The Prince and the Pedo. But anyway, he's like, there was a program on about him, and it was like it didn't do him any favours, let's say that. It was all about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, and there was talk of all sorts of stuff, orgies and whatever else, and photographs of him in compromising buildings and places with these people. And yeah, I mean, you know, you've got to make your own mind up or draw your own conclusions, ain't you? But I would say that they ain't friends for fucking no, you know, there's no other reason for them to be friends based on what I was watching in that film. Because I'm sure that bloke was a fucking, if that bloke was like that, then he's a fucking arsehole. And if he's a fucking arsehole, there's a fucking arsehole in all walks of his life. He ain't just like switch it on. Oh, he's Mr. Charming, chatty, really nice guy. And then behind that, separate to that, he's like fucking, you know, paedophile and fucking attacking, doing all this stuff on the other side. No, he's a slime from start to finish. And if you're knocking about with him, you know. Okay, vegans are animals in bed. Let's talk about nicer people. Vegans, apparently nicer people. Some of them are militant. They're not so nice, are they? But apparently they're animals in bed. Ditching meat makes blokes better in bed. Low-fat vegan meals. I watched that The Game Changers film the other day. Watch it. I ain't got time to explain it all. But it was talking about then it gave blokes, they did a test on some blokes. They gave them meat food the one day, then measured them sleeping during the night. And how many times they got an erection during the night. And then they gave them non-meat foods, and they did the same. And they had stronger or whatever erections during the night when they weren't eating meat. Hey, that's the story, that's the study, so to say. But these guys are saying the same thing pretty much. You have a better circulation and a positive effect on the libido. So if you're a fucking Viagra man and you need fucking Viagra to get it up, why don't you cut down on the burgers and the processed meat, and you might be fucking, you know, Tarzan again, jumping off the fucking wardrobe, and it's not through what's it called, chemicals. Anyway, there you go. You heard it here first. Paul O'Grady was almost killed by a cow when it attacked him from behind on a farm. Trying to think of the cow's name here. Dot. Yeah, Dot is the cow's name. Attacked him anyway, went for him. Well, are you in his field? There was the businessman. I was filling the water trough. She sort of jumped me from behind, knocked my glasses off. I thought I had it. I really did. Well, the big cows, aren't they? The big cows. If a cow does bump into you, then you probably are gonna you're gonna feel it. But maybe the cow's had enough of being fucking dragged around and milked and treated like shit, possibly. But he's the nice guy. He's an animal lover, so she doesn't know that, does she? I can't be able to read why he's even there. So if you want to find out, Google Paul O'Grady and cow incidents. A teacher found a can of cider in a packed lunch of a primary school pupil. I can't speak properly today. The revelation came as staff opened up about the worst packed lunches they have ever encountered. One pupil said he brought all that was left in the fridge, a pork pie and a can of shandy. But this is fucking, and another had a can of Red Bull and a Monster Munch. Another Leeds child arrived with a pack of ginger biscuits, saying his mum was too tired to go shopping. These have got to be council kids. Here's one from my town, from Birmingham School. A Happy Meal box contained a cold McDonald's burger and fries bought the day before. Oh, that's sad. I'm sad. Well, unless you've got a microwave at school, then he's like, you know, he's just brought it and they're going to heat it up, isn't he? But that's a bit sad. If he's that's not even funny, that one, is it? But fucking, they're saying they're bringing lager to school. That shit's been going on for years. We used to do all that when we was at school. Many years ago. Some people used to do a lot worse than that, but some people were fucking glue sniffing and gas sniffing in the back of the class. So I don't think it stops at a can of shandy and a fucking can of cider. You just haven't caught the others, believe me. You know, that's pretty much fucking standard. If they were back in fashion, they'd probably be doing it now, the old glue and whatever. That's died off in the 70s with the punk stars, hasn't it? Footy stars are heading for dementia. Footballers are 3.5 times more likely to die of dementia because of heading the ball and stuff, they're saying. And it's been proven and stuff that they have more risk, and a lot of people have died in comparison to people who don't play football. And I remember when I used to play football, and I used to avoid headbutting the ball as much as I could, because sometimes the ball would fucking kill your head. It was like, some of them balls were hard, weren't they? And it'd bash off your head, and especially when you're starting as a kid, because the balls are the same as when you was an adult. You know, you would still be heading the ball, like, because as you grow up, the ball got smaller because you were growing, but the balls you would use were still the same as what you would use in a normal adult football match. And you'd be heading the ball, it fucking knock you out. I'd see stars and everything. And when somebody kicked one in your face, oh man, even as an adult, you'd find it very hard not to cry. You come close, especially if you hit you in the nose. You know, I've got a fucking big nose, and if a ball hits me in the nose, I'd punch the ball and I'd be crying my eyes out. What was I going to say? I forgot to say as well, but it's finding can of cider in the bag. It just reminded me of today at Waitrose. I went in for one thing. I ended up, as many of us do, I ended up picking up about 10 things. Didn't have a basket because I just thought, grab that. Oh, I'll grab that. Next thing you know, I had about 10 things in my hand. I dropped a bottle of bloody cider vinegar. I dropped it, but then I dropped it. I tried to catch it with my foot. I had steel toe cap thing on the front, booted it. Fucking a guy had to duck out of the way, and it smashed all over the floor. So that was very embarrassing. So you know, still clumsy, even at this age. Stricken, a Babestation fan wants to track down a model he spoke to on a channel, so he can leave her 20 grand in his will. Must have been a good conversation. Anyone got that back in the archives? I can't remember. Who could remember ever talking to? I've never phoned one. I'm not going to say that, but I'm just saying that I don't even know. Get people who do phone them, because they phone them and they're just talking away for ages, aren't they? Like, but what can they be talking about? It's like, you know, it's all pissed up blokes, isn't it? But when you see that Babestation, it's like, it's just ridiculous. You know, the women are trying to get someone to call, and they're just like shaking the phone like this, like, come on, give us a ring. And the next thing you know, you get one sucker phones in, and then she's like, not that I watch the program. This is just like, I've seen it for research purposes, I guess, research purposes. But then they'll have like a 10-minute. They'll just be talking for 10 minutes, and you just think, fucking hell, it's cost that guy a fortune. Anyway, this guy wants to leave 20 grand in his will. He said he's not a stalker or anything like that. I don't want to get in touch with her. I don't want to get in touch with her. That's not me. I think she'll spend them. I don't want to get in touch with her. That's not me. But he was chatting to her on Babestation. I think she'll spend the money wisely, and she's such a lovely person. She's a loon, very funny. He says he's not very well, so okay. Well, I don't think he's dying. Is he dying? No, he's got diabetes or something or other. But anyway, he's going to leave her 20 grand from wherever his situation is. So get in touch if you're watching this. Give me a call, babes. Do the reverse. People can call me up, and I'll have a chat with you. I'll get a premium phone line on. You know what? I don't think I'll get any. I don't think I'll get any takers. Britain, the UK's population is predicted to hit 72 million in the next 25 years, as the proportion of people aged 85 and over doubles. Well, that's good news for some then, because some people are going to be living longer, and they're saying that we're going to have. Well, I watched a program about that last night. Funnily enough, people in America who were trying to extend their life long enough that they are around for when the cure comes for people not to die at all, to be like what's the word, eternal life. So it was all crackpots, but it was quite an interesting story. It's interesting. You know, some of them look really good. You know, they were like doing everything to sort of prolong their life, and that side of it was good. But the fact that they think that eternal life is coming this quickly, it might do in the future. I mean, I'm not saying it's that crackpot that it couldn't happen, but because there's all this science going on apparently for aging cells, or to reversing aging cells, and at the very least they might be able to prolong life longer. I mean, we're living to 100 now. Maybe one guy said, you know, they're talking about going up to 200 and all this kind of stuff. So I can see that possibly being something somebody could make happen some way with some kind of treatment, or what's it called, technology. But it'll be few and far between that manage to do it or go to live it. But they had these exhibitions anyway, and they had all these stands, and all these stands were offering all these snake oil type of things to prolong your life now, you know, by whatever days, and people were lapping it up. So that's a good business to get into. If you can think of anything, you know, some cream or some shit that makes people live longer, or just you're good with the patter, because that's what it's got to be, and people just buy into it. You know what I mean? EastEnders, she does. This one's making her live longer. Dot out of EastEnders. June, I don't know what her name is, I've ripped it off, signed a new contract for £300,000 a year, a new contract to carry on in EastEnders. She's been in there since the fucking start, hasn't she? Her son's been and gone about 100 times, Nasty Nick. She's 92 and she's just signed a 300 grand a year thing. So she's still rocking on, and the money helps, but she's like, you know, working as well, isn't it? She's just like... you know, if she weren't working, maybe you got more focus. You're getting up, you're active, you're moving, and you're doing stuff. So that's part of the secret. But 300 grand a year won't go amiss. You can buy all the health products you need, wouldn't you? Nasty Nick, remember him? That was her son, Nasty Nick, and he always used to like just turn up after about a year and just go, right, Ma, and she'd turn around and he'd go do. He was the only person that was any good in that program. 30 years, it's been going on for too long, that program. Some of them are still in it. I've said before, I think Ian Beale can't know that his real name is, I don't even know what his real name is, but he probably doesn't know what his real name is himself. He's been in it that long, 30 years. He's had no other job. He's unemployable anywhere else. What else could he be? He couldn't go and work in it as another actor or do another program, could he? Anyway, a swimmer has been reunited with their wedding ring after it was found by a fish. Dan Levine feared he would never see the band again after forgetting to take it off before taking a dip. And then they spotted a tiny black fish splashing in a pool where the sea had retreated. When Gary peered in for a closer look, he found Dan's ring glistening in the water. So the fish didn't find it. He saw a fish, and the fish happened to be in the same rock pool. But he found it all the same, so the fish helped in that respect, I suppose. But I thought the fish was going to be swimming, it was stuck in the middle of the bloody ring. Not quite the same. Somebody else found a ring a while ago. They lost this ring years ago. I don't know how long it was anyway, but or maybe they lost it months. I don't know what it was, but it was a vegetable had grown, and when the vegetable had grown up like a carrot, something that grows up anyway, and the ring was sat in the top of it. So the vegetable had grown, from the ring was on the floor, and it like an allotment or something, and the thing had grown up, and the ring was sat on the top of the vegetable. That's the fucking that's the plants talking to you. That's like you've been talking to all your rhubarbs and whatever else, and like one of them's like done you a favour and gone, oh, you've lost your ring, and it's grown, and like the ring's on the end of the vegetable. So that's pretty cool. So maybe plants can communicate. A mega rich family has advertised for butler. I don't know what I'm going on about again. A mega rich butler who behaves and acts like Jeeves. The successful applicant will be paid 60 grand a year if he can live up to the competent fictional manservant in PG Wodehaus's comedy books. So basically, this is a Russian guy. He loves that program, like the typical English butler, and he wants somebody to come and run his houses, but he has to know and talk like the butler and act like the butler, and and basically behave like a fucking butler from 100 years ago or something like that. So somebody will want to do that. I could never do that. I couldn't be having anybody boss me around or tell me, do this for me, do that for me, and wipe my nose for me and all that kind of shit. Fuck, you'd have to bite your lip, wouldn't you? It wouldn't be very long before you told them to piss off, and that would be, it'd be very hard not to. I wouldn't be killing them with kindness if people are bossing you around and telling you what to do. I remember once I worked in the kitchen, and the chef, chefs in kitchens, they talk to you like shit, don't they? And like it was happening a while. It was, do this, do that, and like, for that I was accepting it. But when he bonked, I bent down to get some plates out of the cupboard, and he bonked me on the head with a fucking soup spoon. So I told him where to go, and luckily I kept my job, but he didn't speak to me that way too much after that. We had a few things, but that was like fucking bonk, and it was like, what the fuck you think you're doing? But there's instant reaction again. It was like, I could have just done nice thing, but anyway, we got on after that. But they're arseholes. Look at Gordon Ramsay. You wouldn't get away with that, talking to people like that in any other job, would you? He's like fucking screaming abuse at them. Even more so for the TV. So some of them people must have some fucking go home crying their eyes out from working on that program. Neil Kinnock. Well, I'm going to finish up on a couple now. I haven't got through nearly half of what I wanted to get through. I've been fucking bambling on. Neil Kinnock reckons the reason he was elected an election flop for the Labour Party was because of his ginger pubic hair. Come on, Neil, that's fucking not true. Retired BBC broadcaster John Humphreys claims that Welsh politician told him his red hair hurt his appeal with voters. Where does it say ginger pubic hair? So when people look at the voting slip in the polling station and see my name, they automatically think pubic hair, and it puts them off voting for me. That's like that's your own like mind saying that. I wouldn't walk in and think. I don't think about a fucking politician's pubic hair when I fucking draw my voting slip. I could be thinking about Boris Johnson. I could be thinking like blonde pubic. I don't know. I wouldn't be think. I could be thinking. But I would think about Jeremy Corbyn. Grey pubic hair. I don't know. It's not really that funny. The ginger one's the funniest. He's probably right. I don't think it put people off voting. It just make them laugh. Right, what we're going to be finishing. People have been dialing 999 because they are being spooked by ghosts. Officers have asked the public to think about using 101 and 999 more wisely after a flurry of calls in the run-up to Halloween. So if you've got a ghost and you think something's about to kill you, don't dial 999, they're saying here. What if it's the fucking somebody in the scream mask and it's actually they are coming to kill you? You know what I mean? It's like Halloween. Some people who are fucking mental, they also, got a screw loose or whatever, they might be picking Halloween as that day to go out and do some shit. So dial 999. It's better to be safe than sorry. It doesn't matter they've got to write up their reports. Right, I was going to finish on that one, but no, we're not. We're going to do another one. What are we going to do? Let's finish up on this one then. What's it called? A charity shop has sparked outrage. Same storyline really, featuring a decapitated baby in its Halloween display. A figurine of a mother holding the headless tot with its blood pouring down her white dress, so that's not funny, was in the window. Other elements included a bottle of red liquid labelled human blood. Shocked shoppers voiced disgust over the exhibit at the Red Cross in Bournemouth. They're saying it's tasteless and this is shocking. I mean, come on. It's fucking Halloween, you know what I mean? It's meant to be, but you're meant to be like, oh, you can have headless other things, or you can have, scary this, that and the other, but headless tot, it's like, I suppose it is a little bit dark. Maybe they're doing it to somebody who's like, it's one of the volunteers, isn't they? They don't get paid much money, so maybe they think they'll have a laugh by doing that and tripping people out. But, it's Halloween, isn't it? You got to people try and do the shocking, the best kind of displays and whatever else, but, maybe the head's there somewhere. Just put the head back on. These people haven't got a sense of humour or a sense of bloody occasion, have they? So anyway, gonna leave it there. Don't know what your opinions of it are. Headless babies, is it or is it not? Tasteless. Right, gonna leave it there. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.